live in Berlin. Good morning. What's the latest on the hunt?
Well, the latest is that there are raids going on in Germany, and publicly the authorities are saying doesn't look like anything productive. But at this stage of the game, it's unfolding before our very eyes. The wanted posters, if we want to use the old vernacular, the European-wide arrest warrants are out there, so his mugshots are just about everywhere, not only here in Berlin and throughout Germany, but in all of a host of other European countries. They want to find this guy as quickly as possible. And, how long is a piece of string? We'll see how that plays out. They may be lucky early on, or this may turn out to be like the November Paris attacks, where one individual got over the border from France into Belgium, got into a safe house in Brussels, and nothing was heard of him for about 6, 7, 8 months.
Tom, I've heard you say that the officials sort of knew who this guy was.
They did. They weren't at the get-go willing to disclose this, but late yesterday they did say that, yes, he was on, call it a watch list here. Covert surveillance, those are the words they use. We don't know if that was eyeballs on street corners or, trawling through electronic communications, whatever. But keeping tabs on him because apparently he had some link, some communication with, call it an Islamic network, other individuals. So they follow him, I guess, for a few months. And then we've seen this in the past, too, dropped off of the list because he was deemed to be not a important, immediate threat. And other people are popping up on the in-tray that they had to check out.
Tom,
so it's not the first time it's happened. God could be the last time.
Yeah, Tom, I also heard you say that they were trying to deport him, but his papers weren't in order. That didn't make any sense to me. What's that story?
Yeah. Well, this went up before the Germans, and they last summer said, no, we're not going to accept you. We're going to send you back to Tunisia. And then the cables went off to Tunis, and they said, well, the papers aren't in order here. Keep them there for a while. In this day and age, it sounds not very plausible, but yes, that's what happens. Sometimes the bureaucracy, the paperwork, people can be hung up in legal limbo for literally years over here.
And do we know more about the attack? Was he alone? He was with somebody, right? And the other person in the car, in the truck, died in the attack, right?
Yeah, well, the other guy was the original Polish truck driver. In fact, he had been beaten up. He was stabbed and shot. So he's the individual that was driving the truck from Italy up to Berlin, hauling some steel. And we got a lot of that information from his cousin who runs that trucking firm in Poland. In fact, he's one of the 12 known to have perished in this incident. So, yeah, that's where we stand on that score right now. They're looking for this 24-year-old Tunisian, but it could well turn out to be maybe another number of individuals, hangers-on, helpers in some way, shape, or form that they find as this investigation unfolds.
Tom, is it truly a European-wide manhunt? Are they looking all over Europe for this man?
They certainly are. And the further you get out, they're going to be relying more on communication intercepts, that sort of thing. Here it's kind of, more close and personal here in Berlin, et cetera, et cetera. But the further you get out, they're going to see if anything matches, anything pops up on the radar. And if a call is made to a certain location, et cetera, they're going to check it out anywhere. The Netherlands, France, you name it.
Tom Rivers, ABC News correspondent, live in Berlin. Tom, thanks for your update. 6:25.